Hi traders, I've just deleted the video I've just made because I've just going into so much detail about what I thought was happening in these charts, and I thought this is crazy. What I need to do is just stick to what the chart's telling me. What the chart's telling me is that we're too high up here and we've let down a couple of good 2 days of hard selling down to a support level. Now we're too extended to the downside, so we're seeing a bit of a dead cat bounce getting up here to the 8 EMA. The 8 EMA is up here with the weekly pivot. So I think the market will drift up to meet the 8 EMA and the weekly pivot and then get another leg down to this level here. Okay, so I'm not seeing this as a reversal, I'm just seeing this as a steady recovery whilst the market catches up with itself and it comes up to catch up with the daily 8. Pound yen, we had a move down to this 23.6% fibs. We closed right above the 50 EMA, and here we are closing above the 50%. However, we've knocked into resistance and we are struggling up here. So we're up against two big sellers bars, so we could just roll over tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got very little data apart from Fed Day in the late US session. So I think the market's going to be as quiet today, if not quieter, until we get the Fed Day out of the way. I'll open the room for the Fed Day announcement. What would I do with this one? Well, the fact we're closing above the 8 but under the 21 suggests that there's still a lot of pressure or selling in any rallies, so just be very, very cautious. I may not even take a trade tomorrow. Like I said, traditionally Fed days are very quiet, very sideways, and very choppy. I was looking to buy this euro on the 50 EMA here after this big move to the upside. This is a nice potential bullish bull flag, but I didn't want to get in front of the data, and it just shot up after the data, so I left it. So we're above this 61.8. The dollar is very weak. Now that's okay for if you're a bull trader on the pound and the euro. I think this is spelling trouble ahead because the dollar cannot afford to collapse. It's still the world's reserve currency. So that could mean that later in the year, as opposed to next year, we see a rate hike, which is exactly what's happening in Turkey, possibly tonight. The Turkey TRY has been decimated in the last few days, and there's an emergency meeting with the central bank tonight, and they could be looking to put the overnight rates up. Okay, pound US, obviously all of these pullbacks are bought. We are left with the topping tail and major resistance, so expect a lot of chop. However, the 4-hour chart is holding up, but the daily chart says it all. That is potential for a lot of sideways action and possibly a drop, a return, a rotation back to the downtrend. Euro yen right under the 50 EMA, hammer, a couple of higher closes, but this is just possibly a fade of the 50 EMA. I think this one might be the best one to trade actually. In fact, we're already fading the 50 EMA after the drop. In other words, we drop through the 50 EMA, we come back to retest it, and the first retest normally fails, normally sells. So I'm going to look very carefully at this one, because this one's very close to a nice big round number. So if we drop through this 140, I think we could see 138.50 pretty quick. And who knows, we might even see a collapse down to these levels here. So I will make a note to make sure I trade that, or certainly look at the euro yen. US dollar CAD. I've got CAD GDP later in the week. Had a string of weak data on the CAD, and at the moment this is just getting sold into. We've not closed above that reversal bar up there, so be on alert, because if we get Fed Day out of the way and we start breaking down here, we could see quite a nice drop to some of these lower levels. Fact is, we're closing higher, so we are definitely holding up. no reversal signal. This is a test of the EMA here on these lows, and they are bought. We are closing higher, but I'm just conscious that any weakness shown here, if we can't keep closing higher and we are very extended, this could drop. Right, so that's now for Forex. I'm looking at Euro Yen and US Dollar CAD for indications, and now I'm just going to take a quick look around the market. This is the FTSE. That's not a bad close. That's quite a strong close above that 200 EMA. So I think we'll see some kind of bounce up to this resistance, most likely, unless of course we just quickly rotate to the short side. I'm looking at, let's tie this one up. Right, this is moving on to stocks. This is pot, P-O-T. We're going to look at the grains area, but I think the grains are possibly basing, ready to move to the upside. So we popped out of, so I took a move here, took a long here. Once we broke out of this resistance, I brought the pull back, and then so it's a wiggle set up, and then we moved to the upside, and then of course we just sold right back into this support almost. So yeah, any chart that gets between the 50 and 200 is chop, but I just think if the grains can come up and we can start to close higher than this and out of this box, longer term I think this could fire quite nicely. So I'm just going to give that a bit more time, see if we can get above 32.50, 32.60, and then I will risk some capital to see if that can start to climb and break higher. In the meantime, talk about the grains. Beans are sideways. Corn looked as if it was going to perk up, but still very fragile, and the wheat is just about holding on. So not happy with that. The gold, let's stick with commodities, drifting lower. Obviously waiting for Fed. Cocoa has had a good run. Sugar is trying to bottom. Orange juice sideways to weak. Cotton sideways to weak. Lumber weak. Where's copper in this? Sorry, I don't seem to have copper on there. I'll get that up for next time. Right, stocks. Stocks of note. That's a nice bounce. That's the Thomas Cook. Rolls look pretty ill not so long ago. That's bounced off the 200. UK Bank's got hammered, so that's bounced. That's Lloyd's. Would I buy that? That's a new low, close above next day. If I got a good pullback to that close, I would risk it with the stop under 80, otherwise I will stand aside. And been watching this one, first group. I'm interested in that one. We'll buy that lower. And B Sky B, I misinterpreted that one. Should know the back of that one. Now BG has had quite some sell-off. That's a lovely reversal bar up there. Spinning top, close above, reversal bar, high RSI, and zap. So I need to be more attentive. Try and capture more of these stocks. And I'm in this one, Targa. Taken some. I chose to take some heat on this one because this area is holding. Not a great chart. Moves into resistance, falls right back, holds. and here we are above the trend line. So let's pull back from that one. It's pretty clean. Excuse me. Looking to see if we can, you know, we've just about closed the gap. Oil is doing quite well. Let's have a look at oil. Invents tomorrow, so that's had a good bounce. I think your oil will wait for the decision as well. FCX just fell out. It didn't get filled on that. I was looking to get filled on that. It didn't get filled. It rolled over. ICICI, weak. Tesla, strong. That's tough to trade. And this 140 held really well, and it just bust up with not much of a pullback. Okay. Eshore on the seashore holding. And Man Group. Stopping bar close above off this main support. We'll just give that a bit more time. I still think that's, you know, second half of the year, I think we'll see that burst up. As long as we don't start closing any under that 80. All the time we hold the 80, I think that could be a good runner. And let's look at my shorts for this week. And I've got LIV. Oh dear, that's bounced. Had some profits. My stop is still above that. So I did get a pullback. So I had profits the first day, and now I'm underwater. That's the way it goes. My stop's just above that high, so I'll leave that. UAL. I got in at this 47 level. Again, decent profits one stage. That bar's closed inside yesterday's bar, so that's okay. I will live with that. And let's look at the UK. Sorry, I'm switching back to the UK a second. It's WH Smith's. I'll leave it. But some of these, I called this Devon short up here at 80, drop of 84. That's currently 75.80. And even Halford's has had a nice drop. And home retail has dropped very well. Okay, I'll leave it there. I will do a proper scan and then update you soon. Okay, thanks very much and happy trading.